Hey everybody, today the government is shut down. Congratulations guys, we did it. All of the department websites pretty much have updated their website to show the fact that the government shut down, right? So people know like certain services aren't going to be provided anymore. However, they've also done this fun thing where they have updated the websites with political messaging, such as the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Due to radical left Democrat shutdown, this government website will not be updated during the funding lapse. President Trump has made it clear he wants to keep the government open and support those who feed, fuel, and clothe the American people. So yeah, that's really fun. However, in my opinion, this is not a statement of fact. There is this law called the Hatch Act. And essentially what it says is if you're in a federal government position, you're not allowed to engage in political activity. What is political activity? Activity directed at the success or failure of a political party. Now, what does that sound like? Due to the radical left Democrat. Wait, that's a political party right there. Huh. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the department websites and we're going to rank them on a tier list from S being based and very against the radical left Democrats, and all the way down to la 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 la, it's not happening, where their website doesn't acknowledge the shutdown at all. Let's take a look. So let's start with the one we were already looking at, the U.S. Department of Agriculture. This is a pretty based message, right? It is very directly advocating for political motivations, and yeah, so that's pretty good. I think that one's, you're gonna go into S tier, based. Okay, let's look at another one. So this one's a little more subtle, a little more low-key. The U.S. Department of Justice. If you keep scrolling, you might not even notice it. It's all the way up here at the top. Democrats, political party, have shut down the government. Department of Justice websites are not currently regularly updated. See, this one's a little based, but definitely not S tier. For the Department of Justice, I'm going to go with a B. They at least call out the woke Democrats. Whoa, this one has a pop-up. The Department of Health and Human Services, led by the fearless, honorable Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This one's got a big red pop-up. Mission critical activities of HHS will continue. We're awesome. During the Democrat-led government shutdown. That's a little less political. You could almost get away with this one, I think. Please use this site as a resource as the Trump administration works to reopen the government for the American people. You know, that's pretty based. Oh, don't forget to follow Kennedy. Department of Health and Human Services. I'm going to put that in A tier. That was pretty based. Scott Bessent and the U.S. Department of Treasury. You can tell it's Scott Bessent's department because he's right here. He's very large. So there's no big pop-up. There's no red. But here at the top, the radical left has chosen to shut down the U.S. government in the name of reckless spending and obstructionism. As a result, the U.S. Department of Treasury website only be sporadically updated until the shutdown concludes. Interesting. So radical left. That sounds like political language to me, but it's not quite based. I would say Scott Bessent in the Department of Treasury is going to go in C tier. Not based enough. Now here we go. I love a good pop-up. The Department of Housing and Urban Development. The radical left. It's almost like they got an email. The radical left in Congress shut down the government. And then dead center. See, they got the memo. Bright red. Same message, though. HUD will use available resources to help Americans in need. Separation of church and state. But anyways, I'm going to give this one an S tier. They got the bright red. They got housing. They've got urban development. We're going to put them in S tier. Department of Homeland Security. They have a notice at the top. Not large, but it is red. Due to the lapse in federal funding, this website will not be actively managed. Ooh, see, it's red, but it's not based at all. Department of Homeland Security, you're going to get, ooh, not a la la la, it's not happening. I'm going to put you in D tier. All right, U.S. Department of Transportation, the dot. A little red. It's not as bright, but it is red. Portions of the Department of Transportation are currently in shutdown furlough status due to lapse in appropriations. Yeah, that's a definite C tier for the Department of Transportation. There it is. C tier. Oh, this one's not even red. The U.S. Department of Education does have a notice. The lapse of appropriations. Due to lapse of appropriations, information on this website may not be monitored or maintained. Inquiries may not be received until appropriations are enacted. See, that's not based at all. That's definitely going into C tier for the Department of Education. Let's check in with Doug Burgum over at the Department of the Interior. No red box because of the federal government shutdown. DOI.gov is not being updated and will not be able to respond to inquiries until appropriations are enacted. Dang, let's check out their shutdown page, see if it's more based. Boo, no red boxes. That's going into C tier. Department of Interior. Buffalo. The U.S. Department of Labor, you load in the page, you look at the top, and there's nothing. You think, oh, the government's open, everything's fine. You have to scroll down. It's at the bottom of the page. Lapse in appropriation. For workplace safety and help, please call blank. For mine safety and help, please call blank. This website is currently not being updated due to suspension of federal government services. I'm going to say U.S. Department of Labor gets a la 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 la. This isn't happening. There's no red box at all. Look at this. How would you even know that the woke liberal Democrats are at it again? U.S. Department of Energy, what the heck is going on? There's no red box. Dropping the ball, Secretary Wright. The DOE is woke. It's going in the la 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 category. Woke. Here we go, a red box. U.S. Department of State. Federal government shutdown. Due to the Democrat-led shutdown, political website updates will be limited until further operations resume. See, there's a little bit of trepidation there, Department of State. I'm thinking you're going into S tier based, but it's gonna be the bottom. State Department. Bottom of S tier. Love a red box. Department of Justice. Let's take a look. You could almost miss it. It is at the top. So high importance. Democrats have shut down the government. Department of Justice websites are not currently regularly updated. See, this is probably an A tier because they did call out specifically a political party, which, you're not supposed to do that, but hey, I'm not the Department of Justice, okay? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to put them, for calling out the Democrats, the woke, I'm going to put them in A tier. Veterans Affairs doesn't acknowledge it at all. There is a red box, but it's not the right red box. It's just helping veterans. This is going into the la 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 la. Veterans, stick your ears in your fingers. It's not happening. The government's still open. The last but not the least, the newly dubbed Department of War. There's no red box, but there has been a lapse in appropriations. It is dead center. The most recent appropriations for the Department of War expired. Military personnel will continue normal duty status without pay. Based? I'm sorry, that's not funny. Until such time as continuing resolution or appropriations are passed by Congress or signed into law. Civilian personnel not engaged in expected activities will be placed in a non-work, non-pay status. See, this is kind of woke, dude. This is very technical. There's nothing about the woke Democrats in here. Let's see if there's anything in the page that specifically... Yeah, they don't call out anybody. Department of War. You're going to get a... Not a la la la, but you'll get bottom of C, I think. Do they even have a new logo? I mean, probably not. Oh, no, they do. So, I got the woke logo on here, but it'll have to do. So that's all I've got for today. I'm sure there's some other websites that we could check out later. Leave your favorite down in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Liberal cuck.